SEO slash conversion optimization audit for your PJ Styling website. So starting from the top here, this button seems to be the major call to action for the homepage. You want to get color matched. Something to me seems off about that left orientation and the black outline color. There's probably a better style button. I know Wix is limited in what they offer, but perhaps a big headline and a subheading to get some attention to that would be the way to go. Also, this top section here is really long as I seem to scroll endlessly until I get to the next section, though that sweater is quite becoming. Now, I do like the sign up form here. It is kind of plain in style, but I do remember we were having some difficulty getting something out of that back in the day, so we'll ignore that factor for now. Now, there's a little bit of issue here with this button being off center, or maybe this whole bit is off center. It's hard to see without my yardstick, but that would be one small recommendation for right there. And then also as we go down for my interests, something maybe like a subheading under here would be good to add to give it a little more context. And then a see all or view all of my interest button. Sometimes people can be averse to clicking on these sublinks, but they want to see everything. I know all of these links actually go to the same page, but still, a view all button is just another way to capture somebody who might be uncertain about what they seek there. And then we have the blog section. That little delay when the titles show up, it could be a nice effect when somebody's got super fast internet, but for anybody who's on a phone or a little bit slower of an internet, that delay can actually cause it to not show up for a longer period of time and make it seem like there's nothing there, an odd blank space. With the heading, always nice to have a subheading just to draw more context to what these blog articles might be about. I don't recall how Wix's titles and description work, but if we could get a little more content under each of these, that would be a good content to have on the page, and also a little bit more of a traffic lure to get people to click into it. Here you have a nice read more button to take you to all of the blogs. So that's sort of the same thing I'm looking for with this section, the interest, just a way to kind of get people to see everything all at once. At the bottom, we've got follow me here. I'm thinking, follow you where? There's nothing there. I'm not sure if maybe there's a delayed animation, entrance animation on that. And because it's the bottom of the page, you can't scroll down enough to activate it, or it's something that's been since removed. Now let's actually look at the SEO factors of the home page here. And that can be done with some nice little plugins. We've got the title of the page. We've got some room to work with. So they're considering this title to be a little short. If we make that a little more specific or just add some words of inspiration to the title, that can help. Description is a good length, but as we see as we go through the rest of the pages, that description is common for every single page, which is not so good. You want a unique description for every single page. Another factor that seems prevalent throughout the whole website is the heading structure. We see here we start with H3, H3, H3. These refer to the actual headings like this. See, about me, hi, I'm Patty Jane. There is a way this should go where they're nested. Everything should be under an H1, and then anything here that you have as an H3 would probably be better as an H2, and then they branch off from each other. It's a way to structure the content so that you can say the title, which would be our main headline across the top of the page, would be what the home page is about. And then all of the H2s, the secondary headings, would be for each of the individual sections on that page. So about me would be an H2, my interests would be an H2, and blog would be an H2. So that's what that's all about. Another factor for homepage SEO we have to deal with is images. So all images are supposed to have an alternate title, which is good for the blind leading the blind, so to speak. They say that it's for accessibility purposes, but it is also a good way to get extra context in about what you do and give that information to Google. So we have titles and alt titles. Both of them serve a similar purpose in that. So you do have alt titles on some of the images, and no images have the full proper title. So that's something that's really easy to fix. It's another one of those factors that does take time. Schema is a code that goes on the page that is more directly telling Google what the page is about, as if all of the words aren't enough. It's just another way to give extra detail and specification to Google about everything that's on the page. That can also score you some brownie points for showing up in wonderful ways on Google search, such as like little snippets or special things like that. Now we're going to mosey on to the About Me page. About me. So in this case, this should be an H1 because that's the page title. So we'll just take a look here at the heading structure again, but it's an H3, which is kind of wacko. So your title should be an H1 because that's the top heading, what the page is about. And then every section that comes after would be an H2, and any subheadings of that secondary heading would be an H3. It's just like a folder within a folder within a folder is the way to think about that. Also, I see this black line on several of the pages. I'm not sure if that was accidental or on purpose, but it does seem to not fit. So, but then again, you are the style specialist, not me. But it strikes me as odd. For the content of the About page, I get the feeling that it's too wide. If you've looked at a lot of modern blogs or web pages, they never make you read so much in terms of width. Everything's condensed a little to make it so you can scan with your eyes easier. I know it sounds silly to say that your eyes get tired going from side to side, but there is some science to back that up. So we narrow the width down and add more line breaks. So like where we have a period and a new paragraph here, put a space in between there so it doesn't look like one big block of text, easier to read and consume for the user. Also maybe a little more space on this button there just so it's balanced, but that would come with whatever work we seek to do to space this out nicely. And for every page, I'm going to mention this on every page, we're going to want to add some sort of common footer. Oddly, we have this empty space. That might just be because it's a shorter space or something odd happened in the editor. But what I'm thinking is at the bottom of every page is a sub footer, just above this actual footer, something that drives people to all of those things that you want them to do. I know you said the scient makeup and the beauty counter are big things that you want people to fall in love with and do through you. So if on every page we have a footer that can have them have a quick way to sign up for your newsletter and also to direct them to the affiliates, if that's what exactly how they work, so that it's easier for them to find or stumble across the affiliate ways of making money that you're working with here. And similarly for this page, we're looking at that same description. So we'd seek to make that unique to this individual page and maybe add a little bit more sauce to that title to make it unique and something that if people were to see that title in Google, because that's the title most likely to show in Google, give them something to click on. And we already went over the headings, so that is good there. Images, same deal. We have some without title, so another easy change to just get in there and add when we're editing. On to the videos page. The videos page was pretty good. It's simple, and I like this format of a playlist so that you don't have to click out and go to YouTube or anything like that. The only thing I would really seek to add to this page is some subheading and maybe a little description up top just to guide the visitor into what they can learn about here and get some more brownie points for having proper context. And also at the bottom of the page, that common footer that I was talking about with your email sign up and the 2 links to your affiliates, Scient Makeup and Beauty Counter. And pardon me if I am destroying that name. So on to the technical side of things, videos/PJ Styling. We'll want to cram something else in there to make it a little bit more of a delicious click when people are coming from Google or wherever they may be coming from, and a unique description. Headings on this page is the same deal we've been looking at. So these are the common issues throughout. Odd heading structure. Google reads it in such a way where it wants to make sense of these headings and sections. So doing it in the proper way is a way to say, hey, I've done my homework. I know how to structure a website. These 2 links link out to other pages, so we don't have much control over them. So I'm going to skip them and mosey right on to interests. Again, with this black line, is it on purpose or is it accidental? I guess we'll never know. This is good how it's nice narrow text. It's not too wide, though I'd again put that extra space, extra line break in to space out the sections a little bit for some easy reading. Also, perhaps we could consider adding a call to action button, contact me, or a learn more that goes to your sign up form or just goes to email you on each of these. Because if somebody's looking for just decor, they come here, give them something to click on to take that next step. And again, you see what I mean here with putting in the extra line breaks like you have here. It just makes it easier to consume. And common footer, as we talked about, put that in the bottom of every page. That would go nicely there, absolutely. Onward to the blog page. Pardon me, forgot to indicate interests again had the same Google description and the title that we could advance a little bit by adding some more into it. Not much to do here because I know you have little control over what you can do with how the blogs show up, though these are quite nice. It gives you a nice quick view of the picture, which is always nice to click on. Maybe just think about adding a heading in this area to describe what you write about. You got the categories there, that's good. Just something else to direct the mind to know what to expect. And of course, at the bottom of that, common footer with email sign up, always nice to have. And then here's where we see the title, blogs. Let's get something in there about like various fashion tips or more for me. So just something in there that makes it more attractive to click from Google or wherever users are coming from. Again, we have the common description throughout the website. We'd seek to make that unique to the blog page. And headings, it's all kind of nested under an H3. So this title blog is what should be an H1, and then everything else under it. We have a new subheading, which would be an H2. So read more about this from PJ Styling, and then all of these as H3s would be fine in that case. So let's move on to the contact page, which is a nice looking page. This, you have the shadow under this, which makes that easy to read. This is a little bit more difficult to read without some sort of shadow or block behind it. Maybe that part can go and become a black heading on the slight gray background down here. The form is good. Maybe we could think about adding a picture of yourself pointing to the form or just being your wacky self somewhere in there, just to tie it all in together to your branding. And one last chance to connect with she who is Patty. Common footer would also be good on this page, just because it is a light page content-wise. Thicken it up a bit with those things you want the user to do. And let's just go take a look at the blog post, just because I did have one note in here for the actual, like a singular blog page. So we'll click into the Scient makeup one. You're going to have to tell me how you're actually saying that, because I am butchering it. We're getting there. So in the blog pages, this is good stuff. What would also be good besides the video is, again, that call to action, a button or a link that takes them to something else, right? Because the goal is we're always trying to get them to sign up. We're always trying to get them to buy something or learn more and just get deeper into the PJ Stylin world. So we got the video, an intro, and then underneath the link to do what's next, or to go to the shop, the affiliate link, and purchase. Another good thing to work into the blog pages is links to the other blog posts, just so that you imagine them kind of bouncing around from post to post from the interlinkedness of it all, or just linking back to your interests, your services, and ultimately, again, those things that we want them to do, the affiliate links, the sign-up forms to get them into your, the dreaded funnel. I hate the term funnel, but sometimes it paints the best picture of what we want the people to do. Just a quick look back at the contact page and the technical side of things, if I didn't do this already. So yeah, thicken up the title. Having PJ Styling, everyone, is not bad, but we do want to have something else in there to give it. That's your selling point right there. That's what they're going to click on. So make it meaty, make it juicy, whatever term we want to use. And then, of course, the unique description for all. So there's definitely lots of work here to do. We got a good looking site. But now let's just close up the technical side of it and add a little bit more conversion optimization is what I'm after when I speak about adding more buttons or ways for them to find what you're trying to sell, conversion optimization. So we have people come to a website. We definitely want them to do certain things. So let's make it easy on them to do those certain things. Thanks, Pat.